Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's yours truly, probably Pablo. Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show. O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Coach and Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a.
And it is Matthews on Butler on the opening possession. Dragic with the floater, kisses it home off the glass as Dragic has all 5 points of the game. There's Robinson, can't leave him open here and turned it over. Here's Butler from Dragic, the easy flush.
Great job playing off their deep.
Gives Miami a 4-point lead. Butler almost got the steal. Robinson does. He'll take it himself and get the layup. And a steal by Butler, stepping in front of Giannis, and he slams it on the other end. Tyler Hero off the bounce. Three is good. Dragic in the paint, spins and gets the basket. Iguodala pushing tempo. Butler now Hero drives, got stripped by Bledsoe. Hero gets it back and is able to knock down the shot. Here's Adebayo attacking and floating it up and in over the outstretched hand of Logan. Dragic, same spot, same result. Three ball is good from Jay Crowder. The 2-seed Toronto trails Boston 2-0 in that Eastern semifinal as a three drops for Duncan Robinson. 10 threes by the Heat into the hands of Butler. Fires to Iguodala in the paint, scores.
It's offense is becoming really hard.
Hero will pop for three, hit it. The rookie with his second three-pointer. Hero lobs it, Adebayo smashes it over DiVincenzo.
Excellent.
Shot clock is down to 7. Dragic, step back three, swishes it home.
Big shot here. Wow. Hero.
Tyler Hero, batted out by Butler, and here comes Hero again. Milwaukee went up 91-90, but what a response by the Heat. The lead is back to double figures. Shot clock at 5. Adebayo sees it, timers at 3. Adebayo's jumper is good. Wow. Back to a 6-point advantage. Hill finds Korver, gives it up to Middleton, launches a 3, and he's fouled. That has been the story of the game. It's happened 7 or 8 times. Middleton gets the first one. His challenge in the first 3 minutes. Middleton's second free throw is good.
Close enough, obviously, for them to call it.
Middleton got the next one. Miami has a timeout left, and Eric Spoelstra will use it. 3. Miami inbounds. Here's Butler with 3. Butler with 2. With 1. Butler against Matthews. Gets it away, and no good. Do we have a foul? We do. A foul is called.
Confirms the on-floor decision. The shot was released prior to expiration of the period. The legal contact happened afterwards. We'll put double zeros on the clock, and they'll shoot their 2 free throws with no lineup on the floor, okay? With no lineup, no players, okay?
No.
Got it. Miami up 2-0 in the series. Wow.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty. Good morning. We are ready to rock and roll. Yes, and you just heard all the highlights. You heard some of the sound bites. It was a beautiful thing last night watching the Heat take a 2-0 lead on the Bucks with a 116-114 win. And good morning. We are coming to you live, of course, like we always do every Thursday from Toyota of Hollywood, of course. We're out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Long day today because we've got double dipping today. We're here for a couple of hours, and then we're over at Hialeah Park for a couple of hours today. So that'll be a lot of fun. And last night was an absolute blast watching the Heat take a 2-0 lead. It was, it's one of those things. For me, at least personally, I don't like to take what happens in the regular season to the postseason, right? But that's exactly what has transferred over. Miami was 2-0 against this team in the regular season. They had the one loss in the bubble, so they had a winning record against them. They've got a winning record right now in this series at 2-0. They've got to only win 2 of the next 5, and, Milwaukee has to take 4 of 5 from you. Do you know what Miami is against Milwaukee this year? 4-1. So we're asking a team to reverse what's happened already in the first 5 meetings this year. Miami's already won in a 7-game series. I know the regular season doesn't count. I get all of that, but I'm just looking at it, and it's okay. I'm trying to pinch myself. I'm going, well, they're the number 1 seed. Miami was a bad road team. They were just above 500 after their hot start. Maybe the bubble effect is something that really helps out a team like Miami because they weren't very good on the road. Well, these first 2 games, you would have been in a crazed arena filled with Milwaukee fans, not Heat fans. So maybe the environment would have been a little different for the players, a little different for the referees because they're feeling the pressure from the home fans, all of that. Everything would have been a little bit different. But then when you get to the bubble, it's down to who's the better team, who can play in a neutral environment at a higher level. And you look at what's going on, and right now that game was a 2-point game, but it wasn't a 2-point game. Miami controlled that game pretty much the entire night. They had 9, 10-point leads throughout most of this game. Milwaukee made their run at the end and made it interesting, and obviously the referees, we'll get to that, but it's just to watch them play this way, and Jimmy didn't have a great day either. Butler's numbers, what were they? 13 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 0 of 2 from three-point range. Now, that all could result from Jimmy only had less than 48 hours to rest in between the 2 matchups, whereas in the first game, he had an entire week. So his body was completely fresh after a week. And so it's a little bit different, and I don't know if he'll get his groove, back and play like he played in game 1. But again, he didn't play that way in game 2, yet everybody else, Dragon continued his hot play, Bam played well, Tyler Hero added 17 points. It was one of those things that they got the contributions from everybody, Crowder, you name it. Everybody helped out, and you were able to and yet you controlled the game too. And you didn't let Giannis go absolutely crazy. He had 29 points, but it wasn't one of those nights where he was dominating because Miami has not allowed him to dominate. And look, in game 1, Miami dominated in the points in the paint. Milwaukee dominated this time. What was it? I know I wrote the points in the paint were 52-32 in favor of Milwaukee. So Milwaukee was able to play more of their game, and they lost. Milwaukee got 23 points from Middleton, and they lost. They got 16 points and 7 rebounds from the big goofus Lopez. Remember, he didn't get, 1 rebound, no rebounds? What was it that he had? 1 rebound in the last game. And I was like, how does a big goofy guy like that end up with 1 rebound? Well, this time he actually worked. They must have told him. His coach must have looked at him and said, Brooke, you're 7 foot tall, right? The stat sheet says 1 rebound was that right? Is that accurate? And so, he got the message. So he got 7, and they lost. They got 16 points and 7 rebounds from Bledsoe, and they lost. It's in game 1, Middleton had his way with the three-point shot, and they lost. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how they've had some of the advantages that they need in order to win games, yet it hasn't been good enough to get that victory. And that's the impressive part now. Miami is 2-0. They must be sending some kind of message now that, Milwaukee has to be questioning themselves. It's only human nature. Well, dude, when we were in the regular season, the normal regular season, they schooled us. We got one of them in the bubble. And now they've beaten us twice here in the playoffs. And again, they have no home court to lean on. So this is, it's as impressive as it gets for this team. And again, the maturity. We talked about this in the first series. Normally, a team will let up when you're dominating and kicking their ass, and you'll come in a night flat, and you'll give Indiana a game. I figured that Miami would give Indiana a game. I thought, okay, 5, because Indiana's got to sneak one in. Miami is going to get a little complacent. They didn't. They took Indiana seriously. They played well, and they took care of business against them 4 straight. Here they are against Milwaukee. They take a 1-0 lead, and you figure, okay, you're playing with house money now, right? Because now you've got the home court advantage technically, right? Because you got the first game, even though there's no home court. And so just to say, okay, well, I feel good against this team. And you go out in game 2, and you pretty much control the game. Milwaukee made their run at the end and made it interesting, the referees, all that. But you won. And now you're up 2-0. And I gotta tell you, I am super impressed by the way this team is not having any lapses right now in this playoffs. It's impressive, man. It's as impressive as it gets. The crazy ending. Now, there's so many things I can say about this crazy ending. One, they were both terrible calls. Okay? Neither one was really a foul. As a guy that grew up with 80s and 90s basketball, I'm insulted at how soft this league is. Okay? I was thinking about this yesterday, because yesterday I'm sitting at Inter Miami Stadium, and I've got the Inter Miami game on TV, and you see how I got all these iPads. I have a 4th iPad. I normally have 3 in my broadcast. I took out the 4th one yesterday. Because, yeah, dude, I had Sixto Sanchez pitching on one. I had the basketball game on the other, right? And I had what was it? I had another. I had another baseball game going on. So I had all kinds of things going on yesterday, and I was watching everything, right? So I was in tune with every sport yesterday. I watched it all. But I realized this, okay? Are you ready for something really funny for Americans? Because I've always had this discussion with people. I hate it when the guy that doesn't know squat about soccer comes to me and says, well, soccer's soft. There's no contact. And I'm like, do you watch the game at all? Because I get you see the flopping, and that's part of the acting and trying to send a message to the referee and trying to, get a foul on people and all that. And American sports have picked up on the flopping because they do it now to try to do the same thing with the referees and play that mental game. But it's actually, soccer is way more physical than basketball now. Seriously. It's not even close. And so I'm watching this yesterday. Goran Dragic is standing still. Okay? Middleton glides into him. I mean, you couldn't have been more textbook than what Goran Dragic did. And it was bogus. And then the penalty or the foul on Giannis, on Butler, it had nothing to do with his shot. Yes, there was like a little shove after the shot. And yeah, if you want to call that a foul. But, dude, it's the playoffs. It's the end of the game. Whatever happened to swallowing the damn whistle and letting them play? Please. Now, here's where I will commend the referees. Your incompetence on one end was consistent with your incompetence on the other end. So I can at least live with that. I could not live with it if it was just you called the foul on Dragon, but you didn't call the foul on Giannis. Okay? That I would have been pissed at. You know what I mean? But at least the incompetence was all the way around. And listen, make no mistake. There are no worse referees in all of pro sports than NBA referees. I mean, look what happened in the OKC Houston game. Okay? They called the penalty before Chris Paul calls the timeout. I don't know if you stayed to watch that game. And I watched the game. And then Chris Paul busted them doing the, and they were trying to let that go and just go to the timeout and go to the break. And Chris Paul was adamant about it. No, I need it reviewed. You called the penalty before. And sure enough, you know, it was going to become, they had their little meeting. And it's like, hey, you called that penalty before that. That's going to come out. That's going to be on television. That's going to be on all the reviews. They're going to call us out for this. You know what? Let's just and then you piss off the other team now, because then you make it sound like because of their bitching, you now are bringing that foul back after you were going to the break. You know what I mean? And then they sent him to the line. He hit the one free throw and cut the deficit to one. Well, actually, no, he missed a free throw, didn't he? He missed a free throw after everything. But my point is, it's just NBA referees are the worst, okay? They are consistently terrible. And the good thing about it, look, the Bucks have nothing to complain about, nothing to bitch about, okay? I don't know how Milwaukee radio is right now. I would imagine the sports fans aren't very happy, but they can't point fingers at the referees or say they got jobbed or anything like that. They've lost both games. The better team has been the Miami Heat. They may be the number one seed, but right now the better team is the Miami Heat. And I think the Bucks are finding out that this isn't the Magic that they're facing. This is a team that actually plays hard, plays defense all the way through, and is a perfect matchup for you. And Spoelstra has designed the best defense possible to not allow Giannis to kill you. So I get that the referees have been terrible, and they were terrible at the end, but they were equally terrible for both teams. So it balanced out, and it allowed Miami to win the game the way they're supposed to win the game. Okay? I got no problem with that. At least, if you're going to be terrible, be consistently terrible for both teams. That way it all balances out.
It's very rare that two wrongs make a right, but those two wrongs at the end of the day came out right.
Right. That's it. You know?
That doesn't happen.
No, I know. It doesn't happen normally, but it's excellent to see it happen.
You know what amazed me in the Drudge? He's there. He's got space. He puts his hands up and goes on his tippy toes. He doesn't even leave the floor. Just straight up. How? When he comes down, and mind you, he's on his tippy toes, right? He doesn't even kilter back, like straight back down. And they say that he went into him. It was like, are you kidding me?
NBA referees.
Look at his feet. He went up and down, never left the floor.
NBA referees, my brother. NBA referees.
You know what? Thank God on the other end that we get the call on Butler. Because if not, think about it. We're in OT.
I just talked about that the entire time.
I know.
I get that.
It just we could if they don't mess up again with 0 on the clock. You know what I'm saying? We're like ready to flip the table over this morning, okay?
First of all, let's give Robert Triana a little love because he gave us a love here with a super boom chat. He dropped the bomb on the super chat. Thank you, Robert Triana. He says, just because, boom. And then it's Kenneth Cleveland following up with his first super chat of the day. Thank you, Kenneth. Good morning, Big O. Kenneth Cleveland is live from the Boom Boom Room. The Miami Heat is in the VIP room eating chicken wings right now. Oh, man, come on. Serve him some filet mignon. Serve him some sushi. Actually, sushi. Keep them light. That way, they're not dragging anything there on Friday, and they're getting it done. It's a beautiful thing. But thank you all out there already starting it off hot on the super chat. Little roll call. NorCal was first up, man, out in the West Coast. Man, that is strong. Julius 305, Gus 1388, man of 1,005 holds. He says, morning, everybody. Literally, it's a big show today. Yes, it is. Today, it's huge. The big rig is in. Embarrassing for NBA, but Heat win. No, it's not embarrassing for the NBA. I don't think so. I don't think it's embarrassing for them. It's a great storyline, actually. Gus says, wow, he got that win, but, man, it was almost a loss. It's a win, brother. That's all that counts. It's a win. Andre V says, hi from Portugal. Thank you. Watching from Portugal. Appreciate you. Not even the refs could stop the Heat from winning. You are right about that. Antonio Mato says, let's go Isles and Heat. Jay Gelfen says, great win for the Heat last night. No embarrassment. It's all about teamwork. Damn right, baby. They look great, man. Let's see. Matthew says, we're extra early today. Yes, we are a little earlier today, an hour early. Let's see. John Santos says, good morning, Big O and Bill. Will Thursday be your new double duty instead of Friday? Well, I don't know yet. Hialeah Park's got to tell us that, but I think it'll be Friday, but we'll find out. We'll find out as things develop, as things evolve.
To be determined.
That's right. Let's see. GM Big O and everybody go Heat. 2 bad calls to end the game, but a Heat win. That's right. Snap Rawls is in the house. Romeo Garcia says, good morning, my favorite YouTube live show. Thank you, sir. Julius 305 says, let's see. Crap, got to go get wings now for lunch. Matthew says, yes, breaking Steve Nash. Yes, I saw that. 4-year deal to become the Nets head coach. That's really, really interesting, man. Let's see. Richard McClain says, are you live at 10 a.m.? Yes, we are live. Don't you see me? Here, live. We're here. We're alive. There you go. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have?
You're not Memorex, man?
No Memorex here. No, Robert Triana says, is the sushi on Halle Berry? Give me some of that. Anyway, so plenty of stuff to talk about on the program today, which is amazing. Do a lot of talk here in this half of the day. In the afternoon, we'll have several guests. Omar Kelly is going to join us at 2:30. So Omar is no longer part of the Intercom family. They're not paying him anymore, so he's not exclusive to them anymore. I checked it out this morning with him. I said, hey, I think you're not with Intercom anymore, because Intercom's so broke they can't even, they can't pay for half the things they got in their studio. I hear they're going to end up selling that building. Like that brand new building they moved in, they got to move out to a smaller building because they can't afford the building they're in. I mean, it's just like that they barely have any live shows. I mean, the place is going to crap. So they got no money anyway. So I would imagine they can't pay certain people. So probably Beasley isn't also under a deal with them anymore. So I could probably bother Adam too to get him on the show. So I reached out to my man Omar. So we'll have a little fun with Omar at 2:30. We'll have Anthony Chang from the Miami Herald to talk a little Miami Heat. At 4 o'clock, Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk covering the NBA. 4:30, Steve Calabro, the Hialeah Casino manager, will be with us. So we will have a lot of fun in the afternoon. We are absolutely loaded. All right. Julius 305 says, wait, did he say Omar Kelly? Yes, Omar. Yes. So Omar will be joining us at 2:30, and that'll be a lot of fun. With Omar. So looking forward to it. We'll talk some Dolphins with him, and we'll get his thoughts on what he's seeing out there in the limited practices that he got for a couple of weeks, and get his thoughts on what's going on. What are they, broadcast from the parking lot? Not yet, but soon, unfortunately. It's sad. It's a sad business, man. It's really, you guys have no idea. Whatever your kid does, okay, just want you to know. If they tell you they want to become a newspaper writer, you tell them no. And if they want to become a radio host, you tell them no. Or maybe don't tell them no, because then they'll do it for sure. Just say, oh, okay, great, and then try to guide them somewhere else. Because I'm just telling you, your poor kid will just end up having a heart attack having to deal with today's radio. It's bad, bro. It's bad.
Is this one of these moments like in Top Gun when he's walking by and what's the number?
School?
What's the number to the truck driving school?
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. You'd rather go to truck driving school than be in radio. You don't want to be a part of this business because there's too many idiots above that are just running the worst thing that ever happened was the government not regulating radio and allowing companies to scoop up all these stations. And we were better off with individual mom and pops owning radio stations all over the country because there was more work for people, there was more competition. Now they get lazy and they cookie cutter everything and they want to syndicate everything. And that's why when you listen to 560, it's all syndication except for Joe. That's it. And they cross over the Hawk Show, but that's from 790. And it's such a stupid company that they've got 2 sports stations and they can't put an afternoon show. Hell, they can't even pay for fill-ins anymore. They don't have money. They don't have any money in that station. They're running out of it. It's bad. It's bad. So anyway, it is what it is. Herman Cueva goes, please never tell Big O what to do. LOL. John Santos says, I miss you and Omar disagreeing. Well, at 2:30, you can tune in. I'm sure Omar and I will disagree on something. We usually do. So it's all good. It'll be fun, like always. I love Omar. He's a good dude, man.
I have to compliment you on your mask.
Oh, okay.
That is
I got the AC/DC one.
Absolutely bad ass.
Yes.
Just that simple.
Yeah, this one's good. The back in black with the AC/DC. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this one. I saw it and I go, yeah, I got to get, I didn't have an AC/DC one, so I figured I'd get one.
I got to ask you, toward the end, the brain fart. Jimmy getting caught in the corner.
Bad
and
pass.
Passing back to under your basket. It's like,
well, I don't think
one thing you never do.
He overpassed. He wanted to get the guy that was right there baseline behind the 2 guys. And I think he threw it too hard and it went and it ended up becoming a bad pass. I believe, again, not sure, but I think he had good intentions.
There was somebody under the basket
He
and somebody
saw-
on the other side of the base.
He saw somebody that was right close to him, and he wanted to get rid of him, and he threw it too hard past him and went into the paint, and it was over. And but then again, Giannis misses free throws down the stretch.
Thank you.
Middleton also had a foul. They made their share of mistakes down the stretch too. So again, it all kind of balanced out, and they made their run. Miami withstood that run, and they were able to win the damn game. And for me, that's just absolutely awesome.
You know what I loved? Everybody chimed in.
Yeah.
Kelly hit some big shots.
Yeah. Tyler.
Hero, 7 guys in double.
Yeah. Crowder.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It is truly a team. How do you feel now,
How
man?
do
you feel now, bro?
The only negative is Iguodala twisted up the ankle, and hopefully that right ankle is better with a couple of days and some treatment. He's a veteran. He's a tough guy, so I would not be surprised if he finds a way to get back on the court. But right now, man, what I feel is confident.
Knowing how tough he is, the fact that he left, and you saw it, man, he rolled it.
Yeah.
He rolled right over the top of that other guy's foot and down, and his ankle touched the floor. Not good.
No. It was ugly. It was ugly. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're coming to you live, baby, from Toyota of Hollywood right now. You can get the RAV4 LE, man. It is a beautiful vehicle. You can lease it for $289 a month. The Corolla LE for $149 a month. The Camry LE for $205 a month. My Camry XSE, I can see it from here. It's right there. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. And that's why I tell you, come on out here, man. You're going to get some great deals. Corolla LE, $149 a month. So many different options for you. Come on down. Check it out. I'm looking at the beautiful Supras here. Herbie Lopez and company are out here ready to help you. Steve Ostrov is out here cracking the whip at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Listen, if you're looking for a great vehicle, this is the place to come to. Over 1,500 cars and trucks, so you're going to have a great selection, right? So, like right now, you see, you go see a Camry, right? And you want a Camry. Well, they don't have like 4 Camrys, and you got to pick from those 4. No, they're going to have like 100. So you're going to pick all kinds. There's all kinds of colors and styles and models and all that. And the same thing with the Corolla. The same thing with the Tundra. That's how it is. You're going to get a large selection from each car. Now, some dealerships don't even have one Supra. We got a couple of Supras to pick from here. Those are also very limited cars. Come on down here, 1841 North State Road 7, and please tell them that Big O sent you. Whether you're buying or leasing, they'll take care of you at Toyota of Hollywood.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. Big O Show.
We back. Great win by the Heat last night against the Bucks, 116-114. Crazy ending with the referees and the incompetence of the referees. That's something that you can almost count on in the NBA, and with this team, they have to deal with it. How about 11 fouls on jump shooters? That's the most in the playoffs in the last 3 years. And I got to tell you something, nothing frustrates me more than when you foul a three-point shooter. That happens more and more nowadays. And I guess because there's more and more three-pointers being taken than ever, so that's going to end up happening. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful dog. I love dogs. That is awesome. Great German Shepherd there. I think that was Craig Zinn. That's what it looked like with his dog. Anyway, good stuff by them, but the fact that you're fouling three-point shooters at the rate that they are nowadays, it really is crazy. And in this game, 11 of them getting fouled, that's nuts. Now Miami only has to win 2 of the next 5 games. You don't want to get in any kind of negative groove here. And the beauty is that you are now putting Milwaukee in a desperation type situation, because they at down 0-2, the way things have gone against Miami, it doesn't bode well. You lose the next one, it is over. You're not winning 4 straight against Miami. I don't think they're going to beat Miami 4 out of 5. But let me ask you something now. How disappointed, even though we know Milwaukee's the number 1 seed, knowing what we know now, that Miami has beaten Milwaukee 4 out of 5 times, 2 in the playoffs, 2 in the regular season, okay? So they've won the equal amount of playoff games that they did in the regular season, proving that it really wasn't a fluke what they did in the regular season. So how disappointed would we be if Miami loses this series? Right? I mean, that's how crazy it is that now you set expectations on all of this, which normally would not be fair. You know, the 5 seed. They got to beat the number 1 seed. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. But because we see how the matchup does not bode well for them, we look at it and we say, okay, wait a minute. You know what? Maybe, there's no reason for them to lose because they match up well against these guys. They're leading 2-0 at this point. I think we all would be devastated if Milwaukee goes out there and wins 4 of the next 5.
Can I tell you how bad it would hurt? The first thing that came to my mind, 8-1 Knicks.
Oh, okay.
And what was the name? Alex going through the
Allen
middle.
Iverson, you mean?
No.
I mean
the Knicks. Allen.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about with the
layup.
With the layup,
the guy that was always the killer.
Allen Houston.
We'd be sitting at the Miami Arena and the guy's doing nothing, and it's in the third quarter. He's got 20-something points. How do you do that? Mm-hmm. Quietly. Yeah. Heat killer.
Yeah.
If they came back and beat us, I would. That's about where I would feel low.
Yeah, that would be
that 8-1 loss to Knicks.
Yeah, it's funny because we don't get any more of the Spo sucks stuff, right? You don't get it anymore. Nobody said at this point. If you say Spo can't coach, you're a real freaking idiot, right? At this point, you are a first-class moron if you say, no, in other words, really, you should not be talking about sports. Because really, you're just, remember these guys that we've eliminated? I think the latest one was it Life's a Gamble? There were a couple of other guys. I forgot their freaking names now. But they get on the board, right? And then whatever they don't like, they just every other text, it's I hate this guy, fire this guy, fire this guy, fire this guy. Like the idiots that were firing, that want to fire Greer. And it's dude, Greer's going to be here for a couple of years. If he doesn't do well in a couple of years, then they could can him. They're not canning him now. They just hired the guy. You know what I mean? So It's funny. The Spo haters have no ammunition now. They lose 4 or 5 to Milwaukee. Spo haters will come out again. Then they'll find some. Oh, you see, I told you. That's the Spo haters. Because at this point, if you have a friend of yours that hated Spo, do you check back with that friend of yours? Do you like F with him? Like, hey, bro, you still feel the same way about Spo? Because, you see he's got the team, again, another different type of team in the playoffs. Oh, and by the way, he's now got the number 1 seed up with their backs against the wall down 2-0. So how you feel? Like by now, right? Because I got to tell you, I have a buddy of mine that was that guy, and he stopped already. Do you know why he stopped already? Because I hammered him to a point of embarrassment. That's what I did. And it's like, no, dude, I got it, bro. I'm wrong. I hammered him so bad. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, name me another coach. Come on. What are the other coaches that are so great in your book? And I just killed him. And he stopped already. Because at this point, you can't say anything about Spo except he is one of the 3 best coaches in the NBA. He's a great coach. Not a good coach, not a decent coach, not an average coach. He's a great coach at this point. You cannot say anything else about that guy. So it's really impressive. Myron giving us some love on the Super Chat. Thank you, Myron. He says, I wonder what Omar's opinion is and his racist president, plus his opinion on Black Lives Matter protests, since I don't listen to terrestrial radio anymore. I have no idea what he thinks. Go Lakers. All right, but, I'm going to be talking Dolphins, bro. Myron, I got to tell you something. I love you, my brother, but for 4 months without sports, not that I can't do it. I can do it. I can change formats if I needed to. I was doing it at another place. I can do it if I had to do it. But I like talking sports and music and having some fun and all of that. And I hated the 4 months of all the political, and I still hate, and I know we're in an election year, so it's going to get kind of political, but if I can stay away from it, and right now we have so many sports and so many things to talk about, I just want to kind of stay on that track. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I just want to stay on that track because I think it would be a lot better to stay on that track. So I got you, maybe down the line of off season or something like that, and we can get in. Lord knows we'll be still in the middle of all of this. So we'll see. Stefano says September, December, the 4 months of all other sports disappear under the mantle of the best sport in this country. 7 more days, baby. I know, football's coming, but I got to tell you, Stefano, I am enjoying the Miami Heat right now. That's for sure. NorCal says that after 5 months of no workouts, I'm sore as F after 3 days in a row. No pain, no gain. Big O and Bill, let's sweat it out. Yes, I told you what to do. Oh, if aliens landed and after they gave you and Bill your body probes, what decade of American music would you tell them was the best for rock and roll? Wow, that's a great question. The best for rock and roll, I'm going to go 60s. Yeah, I'm going to go 60s because all kinds of genres of rock kind of were invented in the 60s. And in the 70s was a great era. The 80s is not, you had the hair metal, and grunge came in like right at the end of the 80s going into the 90s. But the alternative music was, the real rise in those in that decade. So if you tell me rock and roll, when I think rock and roll, I love The Cure and I love Depeche Mode. They're not rock and roll in my book. They're, alternative, new wave. That's kind of the way I look at that kind of music. I would say 60s is the decade that, because it's the Beatles, it's Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean? I think Led Zeppelin, right? Isn't it right at the end? It's 69 or 70, right? I think it was 69 for Led Zeppelin. So, I just think that era, MC5, all this kind of stuff that came about during that time, it was so, the psychedelic rock. They, in other words, they explored and were successful in going in so many directions in music. The 70s, I don't believe, went in as many directions. There was the disco, the electronic age, and the disco and electronic age were the ones that really rose to fame there. They kind of kept all that same rock. The 80s was the one that then experimented to go into alternative, to go into freestyle, to go into hair metal, thrash metal, all that kind of stuff. And then in the back end of the 80s, grunge. I would say 60s because it was pioneering and it was the one that was establishing what rock music would be from there on out. You know what I mean? So 60s would be the decade that I would love to be dropped right in. And let me go to Monterey and let me go to Woodstock and, let me go to, all these famous festivals from back in the day and see the Beatles, make their way over to America and just Beach Boys, all that surfing music that came from the 60s. I mean, it's just so much. There's so much that went on in the 60s. That would be the era that I would love to be dropped in. How about you, Bill? What decade do you want to be dropped in? What's your
back in the day,
best for rock and roll according to
back in the
Dougie
day, I
Fresh?
would have said late 60s, early 70s, but
No, it's you got to go 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s.
you know what? I would love to be dropped back in our time, man.
The 80s?
80s.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
you know what? I'll take from 79.
Yeah.
So, the start of heavy metal and all, and
Right.
and you get the early 80 Judas Priest, Black Sabbath still to get, before Ozzy leaves. Yeah, and roll me up to 89.
I got you. All right. That would be a lot of fun. John says, I listen to Joe on my way to work in the morning, arriving at my job. I changed to my iPod. Thank you, sir. Thank you for changing over. We appreciate it. Let's see. Joe, I think, had my boy Dono on today with him. Let's see. Big O, did you hear Bill Rhoden go at it with Chris Mad Dog Russo last week? I did not. I don't know what they went over and when they went. I have no idea, my brother. If you got the link to it, send it to me. All right. Big O, there's nobody that talks football like you. Thank you, Stefano. Very nice of you. George says, amen, Big O. So much sports going on. Yeah, no, I got sports is the time now. Jeremy says, Big O, 560, 640, 799, 40 have more national radio sports talk and less local and regional sports talk shows in South Florida. Back in 2010, Armando, Amigo, Troy, Slater, all came on before you. Yeah, we had something going on at 640 when I first got there. Unfortunately, again, there's got to be a commitment, man. And if there's a commitment, then you got a shot at building something. But if there's no commitment, that's just the way it goes. Man of 1,050 says top 5 NBA coaches in this era: Pop, Spo, Stevens, Nurse, Rivers, and Carlisle. The only thing where I would disagree with you is Carlisle goes in front of Stevens, Nurse, and Rivers. Carlisle and Spo are fighting for number 2 behind Pop, in my book. That's the way I look at it. I think Rick Carlisle, because I've watched Rick Carlisle win with so many different teams now and different organizations. I'm a Rick Carlisle fan, man. I like that guy. That guy's a hell of a coach. And if he would have had a healthy Porzingis, which that's kind of an oxymoron now, I'm starting to believe. Like Porzingis, dude, you're like made of glass. You're always going to get injured. Enough, dude. You need to show up. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jeremy O was doing South Florida radio in Spanish, dude. Yes, I was 30 years ago. I have a question for you, Big O. I ask every sports fan in this city, would you trade the 3 Heat championships for one Tua-led Super Bowl? Oh, God. Now, you can't trade 3 championships for one Super Bowl. I'll trade any one of the Heat championships for a Dolphin Super Bowl, but I don't want to trade.
I'll even throw in a Canes national championship.
Yeah,
how's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll give you a Canes title and a Heat title for one Dolphin title.
Here, I'll even throw in a baseball. Throw in a football and a baseball championship, right?
Yeah, let's
and
throw
a Heat for one Dolphin.
Yeah, we'll give some to spare, but I'm not going to give up all championships for the Heat. The organization that right now has consistently brought us a lot of pride in 25 years, I'm not doing that. Now, maybe one for I'll switch one for a Dolphins championship because the Dolphins do have 2 of their own from back in the day, and they have their own, undefeated season to lean on forever. You know what I'm saying? So how about let's not trade any in, and how about Chris Greer and Brian Flores build a team that just wins a title? And we keep all our titles, okay? Because Celtic fans aren't thinking of trading one title in for another. They want to win another with the Bruins and another one with the Celtics and another one with the Patriots and another one with the Red Sox. They want to get greedy. Well, so do I. I want Inter Miami to win it all. I want the Canes to win it all. I want the Dolphins to win it all. I don't want to trade in anything, okay? NorCal says, best sports talk for me were the days when Slater and Troy came on before you. I had the radio on all day. Wouldn't trade this new format for anything, though. Great job, Big O and Bill. Thank you. Yeah, well, this format we got no politics whatsoever. I didn't know. Actually, 640, they were really good about that because we weren't tied to any of the teams, so I didn't have to hear any BS. We may have had a sales goofball there, but outside of that, on the programming side, they were rock solid. They were rock solid. They didn't get in my way at all. Never told me what I can or cannot say. That's now. That's what you get now in today's radio. That's why they have to broadcast with skirts on, because they can't say what really is on their minds. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it goes. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the show. My picks. Well, we went 2-0 yesterday, Bill. In our picks, we told you to take Miami +5 against Milwaukee. I think they didn't need the points. I don't know. Something tells me they didn't need the points. So you won that one. And we told you to take the Thunder +5.5. And we were right. It was 104-102 win. So we ended up going 2-0. We're now 20-15 against the number in the NBA playoffs. So we're doing all right. Half decent there. Right now, this is the line. And I've won several times with Boston. I'm going to keep riding the hot hand. I know Boston has a 2-0 lead. I know that Toronto has to win today. I mean, forget about it. There's no room for them to lose. My only problem is I think Boston's better. I just do. And I think that Boston has in Tatum a star, a dog that they can lean on. And I told you guys this a week ago. I'm going to stay with it. Toronto is the team that has to prove to us that they're not that club pre-Kawhi, that they would win their stuff in the regular season, but because they didn't have a number one guy overall, they would fall by the wayside in the playoffs. And to me, that's what it looks like and what's happening with Toronto. Toronto has some good players. OG, I like. I like Siakam. I like Lowry, but none of them are number one guys. And the guy that we thought had a chance to be that guy is Siakam, and he has not taken that next step forward to be that guy that they need. And because Boston, I think, is deeper, they're well coached, they play defense, and they've got a star in Tatum, I'm going to go Boston. +1. Toronto's favored again today. Over and under's 215. Going to stay away from it. It's been too unpredictable at times. Getting a feeling of if there's going to be points or not, and it's going to be a defensive contest, or it's going to be a little bit more open. So I'm going to go Boston +1 in this one, and I think the Celtics could end up going up 3-0 in this series. Denver and the Clippers. Clippers, I would imagine Vegas now, because of this line being 8.5, they're thinking that Denver just went through hell with Utah and that they're going to get into this series with very little legs, and they're going to run out of gas, and the Clippers are going to run them off the court. That logic makes a lot of sense. Only problem is Denver is really talented, and they're young. I don't think they'll be as tired as these guys think they're going to be, or Vegas. I'm going to take the dog, and I'm going to take the 8.5 points here. I don't believe Denver's going to win this first game, but I do believe that Jamal Murray, especially Jamal, did not have such a great game in the last game in their closeout of Utah. I think Jamal bounces back in this one, and I think they make it interesting and lose, but they lose within the 8.5. I think they lose by 3 or 4 maybe. I'm taking the 8.5 points. I'm going with the underdog in Denver Nuggets tonight at 9 o'clock. So Boston +1 and Denver +8.5. Those are the selections tonight in the NBA slate. All right, there you go. Let's take a break. It is the top of the hour. If you want to get in, you can chime in on the text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. We got Bill driving the program. We're out here at Toyota of Hollywood. Don't forget, VSS West Pines, great people. We were there yesterday broadcasting live. Jose and everybody out there, they do a great job. 954-613-3367 for all of your CBD needs, water pipes, you name it, man. E-cigarettes. They've got the e-juice for you. They've got the e-cigs. They've got them in the 2-packs, the disposables. They've got the hookahs there. 20% off if you mention my name. So go there, 12397 Pembroke Road, VSS, westpines.com. Tell them that Big O sent you. You can also call them, order by phone, and then pick up curbside if you don't want to get off. If you do get off, wear your mask. 954-613-3367. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
All right, we are back. All right, let's do this. The head coach, Brian Flores, addressed the meteors today. You know, we love playing that press conference for you and breaking it down like nobody can. That's what we do here to talk a little football. We talked a lot of basketball. We're going to talk some football. I got a whole bunch of other stories, too, that I want to get to that I got here on the show, man. We're loaded today, seriously. Bunch of stories out there we got, and got some music stuff that I want to eventually get to with all of you out there. We'll probably do that in the second half of the day. For those of you that don't know, we'll be on again in the afternoon, 2 to 5. We'll be down at Hialeah Park, so we'll have a good time out there at Hialeah Park, and we got several guests. Omar Kelly is going to join us at 2:30 to talk a little Dolphins. Anthony Chang, he beat writer for the Miami Herald, will stop by at 3. Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk at 4 o'clock. Steve Calabro, the casino manager, will join us at 4:30. So we got all kinds of things and all kinds of folks to talk to. We ready, Bill? All right. The head coach, Brian Flores, addressed the media. Let's hear from the head coach, and we'll break down his thoughts and his comments.
Hey, how you doing, Flo? Wanted to see if the odds were in our favor for you to let us know who your QB1 and QB2 were for next week.
All right, go ahead.
So, I think you knew the answer to that, though, Cam.
Gotta shoot. Can't make it if you don't shoot.
Hey. Yeah, you're right. I'm right about that.
Sofit? Well, I like that shirt, man. Tell me what you think about the game, and I guess what's it like supporting other South Florida teams here?
I thought the game was fantastic last night. Came down to the wire. A lot of great situational basketball at the end. It came down to free throws, so it was good. I was, obviously I'm a fan of Coach Spo and that team and the way they play. They're tough. They're physical. They grind things out. They play smart basketball. And, I'm a fan, and hopefully we can kind of learn from a lot of the things they do and emulate a lot of the success that they've had over there.
First of all, because Bill lowered when the coach was answering, he's not going to give you an answer on who the starting quarterback is. I know Cam asked that now, and I guess he was wearing a Heat shirt, so that's good. I personally like to see that coaches are aware of other things going on in town. I kind of lose respect for the guy that has blinders on and then is only worried about his sport, doesn't know what's going on in the world, doesn't know what's going on in a little bit of pop culture, has no idea what's going on with the other local sports in town. I find that guy to be too much of a Neanderthal. Okay? You know what I mean? Like that's why Riley will always be my favorite, because Riley knows and understands everything going on. He'll know what the Marlins are doing and the Panthers are doing and the Heat are doing, or the Dolphins are doing, in other words, in his case, because he is a guy that is well aware of that and entrenches himself in the community. And then if you want to ask him about something social, he may not want to talk about something political, but he'll know about it. And music, he's enormous and all that. There was more to the guy than just being a great coach and X's and O's. You can be a great coach and still have a little bit more to you. You know what I mean? And we're seeing with Flo a lot of the social issues. He's well in tune with it, and he's more open to it now, obviously, because the league is. But we're seeing, he's watching the Heat. So, he's not the guy that is just going to be the Neanderthal just thinking about the one thing that he does. I kind of find that boring. You know what I mean? I think you can be great and yet still have a little more to your game than just your sport. So go ahead, fire off the coach.
Cam?
Hey, Flo, obviously we've asked you a lot about Tua since he's got here because he's the new hot figure, but I wanted to ask you about what the impact you think Ryan Fitzpatrick still has on this team.
Well, from a leadership standpoint, from an experience standpoint, I think he brings a lot to the team. He's smart, he's tough. I would say from a toughness standpoint, he brings a lot to his team as well. It's important to him, he's competitive. And for Tua specifically and Josh, to kind of talk through, end the game situations, end the half situations, third down, red zone, mic points in the run game, defensive structures, all those things. They're very helpful to the young players, and that it's the same for defensively. So the defensive guy can go to Fitz and say, "Hey, what'd you see on that made you make that throw versus another throw?" So and he's more than willing to take on that role and answer questions, and I think he brings a lot.
Adam Beasley.
Yeah, I have another Fitz question of my own. It's well known your affinity for him and the relationship that grew between you two throughout the course of the season. But did you really know him before you guys signed him, and how did that relationship develop?
I don't know if anyone's ever used the word affinity with me and any player, but Fitz. Obviously, I've coached against him, watched him, play in this league for a long, long time. Hadn't met him, but knew of him from, I went to BC, he was at Harvard, so knew of him. But I think what you hear about him as a person, that was all true, and we're seeing that. So he's all the things that I'm looking for in a player. He's tough, he's smart, he's competitive. He loves to play. He's a great teammate. He's coachable. I think there's, I would say he and I probably have a lot of similarities from that standpoint about the way we approach the game, and I think it's been a good fit. So affinity, probably. I don't know if I'd use those words, but I like the guy a lot.
Cam?
Hey, obviously you guys are 10 days away from New England. I want to ask, are you guys game planning for them and I guess their uncertainty at quarterback at this point, or are you still in camp mode?
It's a little bit of both right now, Cam. It's, we've obviously started some preparation on them, trying to get familiar with their personnel. They've got some new players, the quarterback situation, obviously. But at the same time, we're going to use today and work on some things that we may not have seen from our offense, our defense today over the course of training camp, not necessarily in New England, but just different looks that we haven't seen offensively, defensively. Really, in training camp, you work against, whatever your defense does, that's what you're going to see offensively. Whatever your offense does, you're going to see defensively. Whatever, you do in a kicking game, that's what you see. But, some other teams are a little bit different, and there's some other concepts that we need to see. We need to see more of. So that's what we're working on today, and then, we'll get into the game plan a little later in the week, probably.
Safid?
Well, I know last season probably just seemed so far away. But, heading into year two of your, coaching career here as a head coach, what are some ways that you feel like you've improved and evolved as a coach, and what are some things that, you're still working on?
Well, I'm still working on everything. I try to improve on a daily basis in every area of my life, coaching, fatherhood, husband, friendships. I try to get better really at everything. But yeah, there's experiences that I had last year that I think about as I'm trying to make decisions in this season. Conversations that I've had, experiences, situations, in practice and games. I certainly don't have all the answers. I don't think I ever will. So I still lean on a lot of I lean on our coaching staff, whether it's Danny Crossman, to Chan, to Josh Boyer, to Eric Studesville. I mean, there's, I feel very comfortable with our group. So I'll lean on those guys. But as far as the relationships with the players, the guys who were here a year ago, they kind of know how I'm wired. They know what I expect. So like that's been good. I mean, as far as comfortability from that standpoint. But at the same time, we also have a lot of new players who we're still getting to know them as well. And they're getting to know me, and that's football in general. That's kind of how you try to build a team. There's always some new guys, and you want to just make everyone feel comfortable, but at the same time, coach them hard. And yeah.
Adam Beasley.
Yeah, it's been a minute since Devontae and Jakeem have practiced, at least so that we've seen. I guess housekeeping-wise, is there any uncertainty about their availability for week 1?
The both guys are working hard on a daily basis to get back out there. I mean, they'll be out there as soon as they can be. As far as their availability, I mean, we'll get the injury report start next week. So we'll see. Hopefully they're not on it, but we'll see. They're working to get it out there quickly, as soon as it is possible.
Hal?
Hello, Brian. We are just a little over 2 full days away from cutdown day. Given that you haven't had preseason games to look at film, how comfortable are you that you'll be able to make all the right decisions on Saturday?
Well, we're gonna do our best to make. We're gonna try to make the best decisions we can make based on the information, the practices, the walkthroughs, the meetings. We're gonna try to make the best decisions that we can. Look, it's no one's ever perfect. We want to be perfect. We strive for perfection, but and we're going to make the decisions we feel in this moment that are best for this team. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. But we've already had a lot of conversations on this as a staff. I've had these conversations with Chris and Brandon, and there's a lot of factors that go into getting down to 53. These are tough conversations, for us as a staff, and then obviously they're tough conversations with the players who end up getting released. But that's part of the business. I think everybody understands that. But the focus right now is on today. And that's kind of what I try to message to these guys is there may be some anxiety and some of those things going on about, hey, where's my standing? But the best thing to do is just go out here and have a good practice, and then let the chips fall where they fall.
Now that part and the question by Hal is it's a solid question. There's nothing wrong with the question, but I will tell you this, and this is the part that's going to be we're all going to be unfair to coaches and to front office executives all around the league. This is the off season that is. It's near impossible to be a good judge of what you have. You've had no practices, no preseason games. You didn't get to go practice against another team for a couple of days. You haven't had the legitimate situations where you've put your players in at least something that's close to game-like situations. The first time that they're going to be in a game-like situation, not even your own scrimmage, it'll be when you actually play against New England. So think about this, man. You know how many front office executives and coaches are setting themselves up for all kinds of cheap criticism? And I mean cheap because they're going to release a guy that maybe was the back end of their draft or a street free agent that they, might have had some talent, but they didn't really get to see the person. And then there's a numbers thing. And if you listen to that statement, we're going to do what's best for our team at this point in time, like right now for this situation. And what he's trying to tell you is right now we don't have time for projections. We don't have time to, you know what? I like the potential of this guy. We'll put him on the back end of the roster and we'll try to develop him. Even though player X that we're cutting is a better football player right now, but he's older, he's, commands more money, whatever. This guy's half the player, but he's got way more talent, and the upside will take that chance. They don't have that luxury. They're going to try to win, so they're going to keep the players that they think can get them closest to winning. That's why I know they cut him already, but that's why they bring back Avery Moss and all these other guys that have already been in their system the last year or two. Because they'd rather have a guy that's been in their system at least in the last year, because it's better than bringing a guy that they have no idea if he can play or not and doesn't know the system. So this whole cut down to 55, whatever, there's going to be a lot of flaws. And every team, including the Dolphins, are going to make mistakes. And the laziest take that's going to be out there is going to be the writer that's just looking for the player that they released and went somewhere else and had some success. Even though it's a player that was a fringe player on this roster, but, they went somewhere else and they got an opportunity and they went to shine. It's going to happen a lot, man. It's going to happen a lot this year. I just hope that the Dolphins are the lucky ones that are able to find a couple off of other people's rosters instead of us seeing a bunch of guys that they let go have success elsewhere. Go ahead.
For one more, we'll go to Cam.
Flo, I know last time I guess we asked you about X, he was just getting off of PUP and getting his legs under him. I wanted to see where you feel like he is at this point, if he's made any progress with those elements that you wanted to see from him.
Yeah, he's made a lot of progress. I mean, he's looked good out there. I mean, he's fast, quick. He's just got to work on the techniques, the fundamentals, which that'll come. But he's looked good. Conditioning. I mean, those are things that you work on them on a daily basis to get better. So, yeah, he's trending in the right direction. I would say that. Again, a lot of competition at that position as well. And we'll see how it shakes out.
And not a position. Again, I've told you this many times already. I'm not concerned about X. Now, if he gets injured again, then that's when I get concerned. But I'm not concerned about the process that they've taken their time to bring him back. That there's no rush to bring him back, and I think that's the right way to do things because you've got to build him back up again. And not so much as a player, because as long as you get him healthy, he can play. I mean, he had an interception in the scrimmage, and the guy hadn't played football all off season. Okay? So we're talking about a stud. We're talking about a guy that can ball out for this team. But I'm not concerned about it. I just would only be concerned if he gets injured again, because then that would be probably the ultimate setback that tells you won't be able to trade him next offseason, even if you have the chance. I'm not saying you're going to have the chance, but if you do, you need a clean year from him, injury-wise and definitely off the field, because he's had those issues too. He's got to stay away from that kind of stuff. So that's the head coach of your Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores. Let's see if you guys have got any questions or comments here for me. Let's see, what do we have? I give you 2 Marlins championships for 2 Dan Marino championships. I hate baseball. Big O, shout out to the men and women protecting our freedoms overseas right now. Finlaw B and Frankie Slater. Much love, fellas. Get home safely, Finlaws. Yes, amen to that, my brother. Amen to that. Let's see. NorCal, you should do that every day, my brother. It is P The Army served as Afghanistan during Desert Storm. Okay. Myron says my brother is in the Army. What else do we have here? Sunshine in Boca. The mask is cool but worthless. Right, I know it's worthless. It's better for me not to wear a mask. Okay. Now, let me not wear something that protects me from any kind of particles, at least.
Don't you want to share COVID with your heart situation, man?
No, of course, I love
and you
that.
can share with me with my asthma.
You love the mask,
right?
You love the mask people. They're like, oh yeah, no, the masks don't work. Yeah, no, I know medical professionals wear it every day, all their lives. Yeah, it must not work. It must not be something important why they wear it, so they don't get other people sick, so they don't get sick. You're right about that. Yeah, it's all worthless. Let's see. What else do we have? Julius, he told me patrolling at night was insane, scary stuff. Okay, I guess you guys are in another type of discussion. The Heat will win this round. They are a complete team. Okay. No stupid questions in Flores presser for a change. No, I don't think there was any bad questions. I mean, you can't expect them to tell you, and Cam was funny about it. He was like, I had to try, and that's cool. But, yeah, Flores wasn't going to give you any info like that. Dougie Fresh chiming in with a little super chat. Oh, I know I am not alone that your breakdowns of Flores are so insightful, considering Flores keeps his cards close to his chest. These are so damn good. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. We try, man. Doing this long enough, I don't know, I guess I've heard it all, and I kind of know the way coaches think. So sometimes I can guide us to where I think the coach is going and what he's thinking. And I'm not going to be right every time, obviously, but we'll do our best. And I appreciate you giving us some love. It is a very popular segment downloaded, okay? When we do those, it seems like a lot of Doll fans download the segments that we break down press conferences because they kind of like that too. So Cookie Vice gives us a little love on Super Chat. Big O, agree with you. Cobra Kai is a badass show. Recommended 100. Yep. I enjoyed it, man. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait for season 3. I'm looking forward to it. Again, not going to give you any spoilers or anything like that because I don't want to do that. Just in case, you haven't seen it yet. Like, it was on YouTube for a while, but I didn't have YouTube Premium. That's the only way you could have watched it. I watched the teasers, the short little snippets of the episodes on YouTube, but I never got to see the full seasons. And so when Netflix got it, since I have Netflix, I was all right, cool. I'll watch it since they're gonna have a season 3. And I really enjoyed it. I tell you, if you have an opportunity, watch Cobra Kai. I think you're going to enjoy it. Okay, I got to tell you, it's a pretty cool series. I really enjoyed it myself. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. Yesterday, Inter Miami ended up tying with Atlanta United FC, 0-0. And I know that some people look at it and be disappointed with it. I am not happy with it, but I will tell you this. There's been a lot of progress because you're talking about a team that is now 1-6-1. Let me explain. They went 0-5. Now they're 1-1-1 in their last 3. So you lost your first 5 games, And in your last 3, you have a win and a tie and a loss. And the loss was won by 1 goal, 1-0. So it wasn't like you got routed. You haven't been routed in any game yet. So they've played tight games. They were all losses. Now in the last 3, you got a win, you got a tie, and you got a really tight loss. So it's what I was saying yesterday on the postgame show. For those of you that are Inter fans, remember, this is an expansion year. And expansion teams are going to struggle. But they seem to be playing better now and finding more consistency. 3 games ago, it was their best offensive game. Last night was their best defensive game. Their most complete game. Because throughout the first 7, they always seem to have a lapse or 2 on defense and that they allow a goal in. And they did not have that in this game. Robles played a clean game and barely had to do anything out there as a goalie. And that's great for them. So for those of you out there that might look at the Inter situation and say, oh, man, they're terrible. They're not playing well. Of course not. But they're 1-1-1 in their last 3 right now. They've got Matuidi coming to man that midfield. And if the rumors are true and it looks like it's happening, it's not, nothing's 100%, but the Higuain rumors, I'm not telling you they are, but it just seems like it might be happening. So if you are getting your forward and your midfielder that you needed to really solidify this team, those games that were 1-goal games, those opportunities that you see that they weren't able to close, Higuain is going to close several of those. And you're going to win some of those games instead of lose. So I just want to throw it out there. Sunday, they play Nashville. We'll have the game on the Inter Miami radio network. So if you got a chance, please give it a listen. But I'm telling you, it's not nearly as bad as some people may make it out to be. Julius 305 gives us a little love on the Super Chat. Thank you, Julius. He says, agree with Dougie E. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Julius. I appreciate you giving us some love on the Super Chat, as always. Thank you all out there, man. Good stuff, and good job by them. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Let me tell you about Modius Dental. Listen, folks, if you need to go see a dentist, your family, want to take the kids, cavity, clean teeth, a crown, implants, Invisaligns. They are the implants and Invisalign experts. State-of-the-art equipment. I tell you this all the time. Family-owned and operated, father and son there. They're huge fans of the show. Eric Modius has been listening to my show for years now, and he's a great supporter of our show. Please support him. If you're looking for a great dentist, I should know because I've experienced it myself. I would never tell you guys know that if I wouldn't use the product, I am not going to represent it. And I've used the product. I know because I've seen it firsthand. The service, the way they handle people, the work is second to none. 305-821-0231. That's the number. Call Eric Modius right now. 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Modius Dental. And go to the website, modiusdental.com. We'll talk to my man Herbie Lopez when we come back right here on The Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
We're back. I would say last night the Marlins may have lost, but they won, right? I know they dropped to 16-16 because they lost 2-1. But I got to tell you, watching Sixto Sanchez, and the kid pitches, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks. He's got a 2.37 ERA right now, and he's a baby. That is awesome. He's must-see TV now. I had one of my iPads going in the studio yesterday because there was no way that I was not going to watch that. I recorded it at home. I'm actually going to watch it today when I get home. I'm going to watch it. When I sit down and relax, I'm going to watch some of it closely. But I was watching it yesterday, and the efficiency. You know what? I didn't write it down, but did you see Sixto's line yesterday, Bill? Did you notice it at all?
To be honest with you, because of having the heat and obviously involved with the Yankees game and doing inner, I really didn't do anything other than just bam. And when I saw the box score, and they had given up 1 run through 6, I'm like, the kid must have ripped. Yeah.
7 innings, 79 pitches, 56 of them strikes.
Super efficient.
He could have pitched another inning.
Yeah, but you know what? I've noted they've talked about it. All the rookies, all the babies, they're in the 70 to 75 pitch.
But 79 pitches through 7 innings?
No, that's awesome.
Wow. My man just averaged over 10 pitches an inning. Are you listening to me? 10.12 or whatever it was. 125 or whatever.
That's some David Cone, Greg Maddux type stuff.
Are you kidding me? I mean, when I see that, it's like, okay, I don't care that they lost. I'm good. They won, bro. That kid's good.
When I saw the one run.
That's the kind of kid I want to watch every time he's on the mound. That's the kind of kid I need you to sign to a contract when his time is up. That's the kind of kid that I want to buy his jersey. You know, that's the kind of kid I want to sit with my son and watch that game and say, yo, that's a pitcher. That was fun to watch, man. That guy's got
exactly what you're talking about. When I saw it's like 7-6 and we lost by a run, I'm like, damn. Then I see the box score and I'm like, 1 run through 6?
That guy can pitch, man.
The kid must have pitched great.
That kid can pitch, dude. Damn. Herbie Lopez, by the way, manager out here at Toyota of Hollywood. Did you see yesterday the Sixto Sanchez outing for the Marlins? I don't know. Wait a minute. You got us. There we go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Now I hear you, baby.
Big O, I'm here.
Not a figment of our imagination.
Not a figment of your imagination.
That kid, he went 7 innings last night, 79 pitches.
Crazy.
That's like 10.1 pitches per inning, bro.
That's efficiency.
Like, yeah, no, like this is the kind of kid that I hope develops, and I hope they keep now.
Right.
You know, because Jeter, Bill, raise his mic a little bit so he doesn't have to slouch down. Raise it up. I lowered it a little too much. What's it called? Because that's what this franchise is left. It looks like now they're turning things around with young guys. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And so the last thing is, okay, after you develop him, we don't want to see him playing for your Yankees.
My Mets.
Or your Mets. His Yankees, your Mets, somebody's Dodgers, somebody's Red Sox. You know, like, we're tired of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Do you keep up much with baseball?
I do. And, it's the key is to always keep the young talent and, try to build from within.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key nowadays. But, the Marlins are looking promising.
I know. And that was, let's hope that they're able to get this thing going and keep these guys. I know that you're a Lakers fan. Are you happy with your Lakers right now?
They are now looking more dominant. I was a little bit worried after that first game with Portland, but they turned it back up and they went on a 4.
I wasn't buying any of that.
You weren't?
No, I told you they weren't motivated in the.
They were hot though. Portland was hot.
No, Portland was hot. But what I'm saying is, the Lakers needed a wake-up call because they got to the bubble and it was like,
I agree.
There was no home court. We're not playing for anything anymore. It doesn't matter. Like, the Heat lost to Indiana and lost the 4th and 5th seed. Who cares, bro?
Right.
You're not going to Indiana for 4 out of 7. I bet you if the game was on the line and the seeding was on the line for real, Miami would have won that game. They would have done whatever they had to do to win that game. And they were like, whatever, and they lost it because they didn't care if they were 4 or 5. They were better than Indiana, and they proved it. But to me, your Lakers were not motivated at all because you saw what they did when they started the season, and they kept the pressure on all throughout. And then once we went to the bubble, LeBron is not stupid, bro. LeBron sees the way, and it's like, bro, I'm back in Cleveland. I don't care about the seeding.
Right.
I'm going to blow through the East either way. I don't care if I'm the 3rd or the 5th or the 1st. It's all the same. So now what Portland did was wake their asses up.
You know what? The dynamic of being in that bubble is crazy. I mean, when you look at it, think about it. You're playing every other day.
Right.
You're not having to travel.
Right.
I was watching the game last night with Houston and OKC.
Yeah.
And James Harden was getting interviewed, and he was saying, he goes, so what do you think now that this series is over and now you got to go up against the Lakers? He goes, it's just weird. I mean, we're going to play in 2 days, and we're probably going to play on the same court. So there's no traveling.
Right.
You're not having to go to, that adversity of going on the road and stuff like that. So
Miami didn't have to deal with the Bucks fans for the last 2 games.
Miami's looking great, though.
I know. Well, it's a matchup thing.
Yeah. They match up well. Bam is good with Giannis.
And they're not good at defending the 3. And if you can't defend the 3 against Miami, you're screwed, bro.
Yep.
You're screwed.
Oh, yeah, for sure you are.
You can't. There's no way you're beating Miami if you're gonna allow them to shoot 3s because they can shoot 3s, man.
Goran is playing out of his mind,
isn't he? So I think it's 7 straight playoff games with 20 points.
Wow, you guys got to re-sign him.
Oh, they're gonna re-sign him.
Yeah,
they'll give him a 1-year deal now, and then they'll give him another 1-year deal after that, and they'll just keep him around that way. They can go over the cap, I think, because he's their guy.
He's their guy, yep. Got the bird rights.
So I think what they'll do is they'll try first to make a trade for somebody, whether it's Giannis. Because
I did hear about that, yes.
Well, that's been linked forever. But if Miami wants to get him out of there by kicking his ass, sends the message like, okay, I don't have the right people.
Right.
And actually, for the fact that Giannis can't shoot, because he's really not a great shooter, he comes here, it would be perfect for him.
Correct.
Because
got all the shooters behind him.
He's got all the shooters around him.
Kind of like Dwight in Orlando.
That year.
Right.
Yes, with Stan. Yes. That was Stan was ahead of his time.
He was.
In a way, Stan was seeing where it was going.
Small ball.
And he went small ball around Dwight.
Right.
Too bad Dwight's a turd, but still it just everything.
I felt that. That was a little bit of a low blow. No, I'm just kidding.
I doubt you're.
He's with my Lakers, though.
I know he's in your Lakers. But notice how he's the one that wanted to opt out. Notice he's the one that he's done everything opposite of what the team was.
Yeah.
Turd city.
I was worried about him not coming to the bubble.
Listen, I commend him.
His baby's mother passed away, though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, his kid's mother passed away.
I feel bad
in
for
that time frame. So that was what was holding him back.
Well, I commend him because he has kept his turd ways away from the game
Yes.
and the team. So he's actually played with your team. Like he's actually understood, like, okay, I'll be a team player. I'll shut the hell up and all that. When it's been some of the other stuff away from basketball, that's where he's gone awry and not, he's lined himself up with Flat Earth Man, Kyrie Irving. Like, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? But
What do you think about that series?
But I got to give him love. He at least, like, understood.
No
like,
drama.
Finally, like, okay, if I'm not a jerk, I may have a shot at a title here, you know?
And they do.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you, what do you think about that series with the Lakers and the Rockets?
Oh, God, please. Lakers.
Too big?
Too big, too long. They're playing defense. Anthony Davis got the message in this series.
He's playing out of his mind.
It's dude, if you don't, you're not going to win. LeBron can't do everything for you, and they don't have enough around them to count on. Like I think, like LeBron would love to play with the Heat,
right?
Because he would have everything he needs,
all the compliments.
He doesn't have that, so AD has to be super special every night next to him. He's got to be Pippen to his Jordan,
Right.
bro. He has to.
And they've been doing that.
And then that's what happened because everybody started talking, oh, well, AD's never been in this position. And he heard it, and he responded. And if you get those two guys playing like that, how in the hell is Houston going to stop them? I was looking at all those midgets running around yesterday, and I'm like, this flies with OKC because it's a young team. And having said all that, they still took you to 8 games, bro.
And Steven Adams is slow as a big man.
Yeah,
It's not like
I like him, man.
no, he's a beast.
I love him, man.
He's a beast.
Because his heart is in the game.
Absolutely.
He leaves it all there, man. I really admire the guy. Why he went for that inbound, like he was going to shoot it from 3. I was with, I forgot who the announcer was. Cut to the basket. That's what he should have done.
Oh yeah,
So he should have
would have been by himself there, right?
Yeah, dude. Or if you get a lob, you get fouled, whatever. At least you go to the line. You got a shot at tying the game or winning. Or was it a 1 point? No, he missed a free throw.
He missed a free. Yeah, Gallinari missed a free throw.
But still, he would have been within go out to the 3-point line. Come on, dude.
What an ending! That was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but the NBA referees, bro, are consistently terrible.
Yeah.
Because Chris Paul busted them. No, you called that foul before the timeout. They were going to let that thing go.
We don't get fined for saying that the refs are sucking in the bubble, are we?
No, not us.
No, all right, good.
Not us.
I'm not getting no.
No, I've been saying for years the NBA refs are the worst refs in all of pro sports. And what they did at the end of the Heat game, the Goran foul was not a foul. And the one on Jimmy, bro, it's a little touch. And it was after the shot. It had nothing to do with the shot. Just what happened to 80s and 90s basketball?
Got to be consistent. Yeah. Oh, well,
Just
that's
let
for
them
sure.
play, bro.
Yeah.
Just let them play. What the hell's wrong with you?
You got flagrant ones just for bumping on somebody. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is crazy.
So you confident with your Lakers and Clippers? Because that's what we're headed there.
I got to tell you, I mean, the Clippers look strong, but I'm going with my Lakers. I'm going with my Lakers.
Okay, all right.
And I'm hoping that they go up against the Heat. I really do.
If they get past Milwaukee,
the momentum is going to be there.
Well, Boston's the next one because
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
Boston is the one that's playing really well, and they match up well with Miami.
Right. That would be a battle.
And that would be a battle because they have a star in Tatum.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Toronto for me is going back to reverting to what they were before Kawhi. The team that wins all those games in the regular season, then they get to the playoffs and they don't have that guy.
Right.
Because Lowry and DeRozan were never that
DeRozan, yeah,
guy,
wasn't.
and we're waiting for Siakam to become that guy.
He wasn't there yet, right?
And he's not there yet.
Right.
I don't even know if he's ever going to get there, actually. And so that's their problem, bro.
Yeah.
That's
They
the
need
problem.
somebody at the end of games that could close out games.
Because Tatum will shut you down, bro.
He's
Tatum
a
is
Dookie, but I'm a Dookie fan, so
Okay.
he's a Duke.
Tatum is badass, and then Marcus Smart.
Oh, he's a pit bull. Wow. He's a pit bull.
That guy's turned himself into a shooter. Bro.
Yeah, that's the key component
He was
to
a
that.
defensive
Right.
player that could, maybe once.
What did he come out of Syracuse, right?
Marcus Smart was.
I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm thinking he came out of.
Was it Syracuse, Marcus Smart? I don't know why I'm thinking it might have been.
Smart. No, Villanova, isn't it?
You could be right.
Because they were talking about him in the paint doing something Villanova-like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Villanova.
All right. Let me cheat. I'll look it up now.
But he is a pit bull, Big O.
Yeah. You got to love that kid. He plays his.
He's the
ass
enforcer
off.
on the team.
And he has actually worked his ass off to become a much better player, man.
Jaylen Brown is also solid.
Yes, yeah,
He's just
Jaylen Brown's
solid.
yeah. Jaylen Brown's awesome. Marcus Smart, here it is. It is Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay.
Oklahoma State. There you go. First round pick, number 6 overall in 2014. So my brother, let me ask you. So what we got going on here at Toyota of Hollywood?
Well, Toyota Hollywood's always got great deals going on, but this is Labor Day weekend, and Toyota's come out with great incentives for all our product. Low interest rates, 0% interest. It's just the place to come. I look at Toyota Hollywood as the Disney World of the car business. We want to treat people right, and we want to take care of people. And if we do that, that's how we grow. We want to take care of our backyard. We want to make sure this is the spot, and this is the time to buy now. Your car is going to get appraised and get top dollars. People are looking for those used cars, so this is the time to turn in your vehicle and come to Toyota Hollywood. The experience here is bar none.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, listen, you come out here, the place, it's 400,000 square feet. They've got like a couple restaurants in the back, okay? The service center, that's the one thing. You don't have like 1 or 2 people waiting for you. You've got like 10 people out there.
Team.
It's several people that take care of you when you pull up to the curb. Then you've got several people in different, at least 10 counters of people waiting to take care of you. You guys do a great, and then your area to relax. TVs all over the place.
Yeah, that lounge is phenomenal.
Right, a great lounge if you have to hang out and wait for your car to change the oil or whatever. And then this is the one thing that I always tell them, because you go to a dealership and it's like, all right, I'm looking for a Corolla, and they show you like 7 of them. Right now, what's the ballpark? How many Corollas do you have here right now?
We've got about 400 Corollas.
There you go. So you're going to be able to pick all the different models. Like when I got my Camry, I had so many different Camrys. I was going to get the red Camry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that color, which is the, what is it called? The
Aqua blue, right? Aquamarine?
Marine something.
Right.
There's another word.
You've done a great
there.
job with that car, by the way.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. It's
one of a kind, man.
Yes.
Just like you.
Yes.
Just like its owner.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, my XSE does not look anything like any other XSE out there right now.
Guarantee you that.
That was the idea, bro. I wasn't gonna, it's a great car. But what I love was, if you want to get the SE, the XSE, you want to get, all the different
all the
types.
trims, right?
Right. It all depends on what you want to get, and that's what you guys give. You guys give people. Some Toyota dealerships have no Supras.
No, we got the largest inventory. Listen, we're the number 1 volume dealer in South Florida, and we're the second largest dealer in the United States of America. So we got the largest dealerships. We're going to give you the best prices. We're like BrandSmart.
Right.
Right. We're also going to give you the best prices too, because we've got the power to be able to do that with the inventory and the sales that we've got. So again, this is your one-stop shop. Like you said, you've got the restaurants, you got the lounges. We've got a lot of people to tend to you, and it's the place to come.
Yeah, so come see my man, Herbie Lopez. They will take care of you out here. Steve Ostrov does a great job running this place. How long you been here, Herbie?
I'm on my 22nd year now.
22nd.
A little bit of a tenure.
Yeah, dude. 22nd year, man. Wow. How long's Gary Thompson been here?
Gary's been a pro with Toyota. He was at a different facility, and then he came to us.
I've known Gary for a while.
Yeah, about 3 years now.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy.
Yeah. You got some good people out here too,
Gary
man.
Thompson's such a great guy. He's a gentleman.
Lori Rodriguez is out here, the lovely and talented one. She will take care of you. How about the Supras? How many Supras you got in right now?
We've got 6 Supras in stock.
And some dealerships have 0.
0.
So the Supra is like, how many do they make? How limited is it?
Well, they had a special edition where they made 1,500, but again, that's one of those cars it's unique, and they don't mass produce them, and it holds its value.
Those?
Yeah, we have one of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have one of them. But
Okay.
the owner has it.
Was that him walking around that I just saw with the dog?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. Oh, that German Shepherd was beautiful.
That's the other thing. I mean, the owner of this place, Mr. Craig's Inn, who I completely and totally love, because not only does he give us the opportunity to come work here and stuff like that, but he's a family man. And one thing with him is he's got that environment. He's got his dogs here. I mean,
Yeah.
just think about it. I mean, nobody's like that. And as an owner, you never see these owners. Meanwhile, this guy's always around.
Always.
You know?
I always see Mr. Zen. I see him here. Then I'm at Acura on Fridays, and he's over there.
Our Lexus stores everywhere.
Yeah. So I always see him, man, and he does
He's a great guy.
And he's got his Supras out here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those
are beautiful.
All right. Well, we got two classic Supras out here. The first one, what is it? 80 what?
89.
89, and it goes for how much right now? It's up to what, like 30 something, 40,000, right?
No.
The green one I know is like 300.
300,000. The other one's like close to 100,000.
Oh, it's close to 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. So the green one, what year is the green one? 90.
That's a 94.
94, and is that one of those special editions?
Oh, for sure.
And so that thing's worth what? 300,000, 300 and some thousand.
About 300,000.
All
So
right,
he doesn't even have a number to it, just because you can't get them.
Right. So if you want to check those out, you can come out here and check it out in the showroom, because they've got a large showroom here, so you can check out all the vehicles. Herbie, good luck to your Lakers unless they play my Heat.
Good luck to your Heat unless they play my Lakers.
All right, my brother.
All right, my brother.
Good
Thank you very
stuff.
much. All right.
You got it. The great Herbie Lopez. Make sure you visit him out here at Toyota of Hollywood. Talk some sports with him, too, if you want. He'll take care of you, man. Tell him that we sent you. I promise you.
You remember last week when you were walking around, man, and
Yes.
it took your breath away, literally, because of the size of the place. You got back to the mic, man. It
Yes.
was like,
yes.
you're out of breath.
Yes, I was actually. I was out of breath. You can actually, in the background, see in the cameras, you can see in the back those two Supras. The closer one is the one that's 300,000. The one behind it is the one that's closer to 100,000. It's funny because if you gave me a choice, I like the one that's closer to 100,000. That's my favorite Supra. The one that has it's a little bit more of a square. It still has its round look, but it's more of a square and wider look. I love that car. Are you focusing? Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to get to it. Yeah, it's all the way in the back there, if you can see it. I don't know if you can
It's
tell.
in between the red and the white car in
Yes.
the back.
Yes. So there you go. Good stuff. The Bucks ended up signing Leonard Fournette. How about that? I thought that was interesting. There was a report that the Patriots were interested in Fournette, but Bucks ended up signing Leonard Fournette. And look, Leonard Fournette is a guy that needs to be in a very strong locker room. I don't know if Tampa has a strong locker room. I know they've got Brady's presence there, and I know that Bruce Arians can be, a hard ass and all of that. But when I start seeing teams sign free agents left and right like that, I have a hard time believing that all of this is going to fall into place. You know what I mean? We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just when it starts to become kind of a novelty when you start making your team look like a fantasy team, and you just start signing guy after guy after guy. I saw it with the Dolphins when they had like 19 former first round picks on it. I saw the Raiders do it. They had like 21, and neither team, it really worked out for them. And I'm starting to get that feeling with the Bucks now, because you've now added a turd to that locker room. And I get that the turd wants to kind of, shut the people up in Jacksonville and that kind of stuff. So he just goes and goes to Tampa instead and stays in the state, not in the division, but in the state. And still, to me, I think you're starting to play with some fire here. Not that I care. Listen, as long as the Dolphins win, that's all I care about. But I'm just saying, this whole Leonard Fournette thing and now going to the Bucks, it's a too much like a fantasy of football. It's like this is a reality, not a fantasy. Okay? You know? I gotta tell you, bro. Gus 1388 says Adam Schefter reporting quarterbacks Dolphins have fielded trade inquiries in recent days for Josh Rosen. I'm sure they have. Why wouldn't you? That would make all the sense in the world. Now, I don't know unless the trade is let's say one that you can't deny. Then,
I was just going to say, if it's like Tunsil, if they bring you a wagon load of Tunsil-like stuff, right?
Right.
You have to jump.
And I don't think that's going to happen because Rosen hasn't done enough for that. The tweet that he's talking about says, with Miami's rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa healthy, the Dolphins have fielded trade inquiries in recent days for former first-round pick Josh Rosen, per league sources. In an upcoming weekend of moves, Rosen could be on the move again. I think they make this trade if it's a really good trade for them. If they don't, what I think is they will actually hold on to him and wait for the season to start because they've got to make sure that Tua is healthy. And they've got to make sure that, when you put Tua in, unless you're willing to sign another quarterback to be the number 2 guy and keep Tua on ice a little longer. And I'm trying to think of what options are out there, and I don't know if there is one. But I just don't see them making the move unless it's a great deal that they're offered. I think it could be more about the Dolphins gauging what the interest is in Rosen. Okay? Now, let me give you a little scenario where they could unload him as soon as possible. If practices, if meetings, if all that stuff has not gone in a direction of an upswing, which is what they've said from the get-go, that he has played better, practiced better, all that, but maybe they're just lying and he is kind of leveled off or going on a decline. Instead of putting him out there if Fitz gets injured and ruin all his value, maybe they want to unload him now. Okay? But if they hang on to him, it's because they still feel he has some kind of value. That I'll tell you. Schefter also reported that the Seahawks have officially re-signed Josh Gordon per his agent. All right? So David Canner, I guess, is representing Josh Gordon. For me, you guys know how I feel about that one. I don't think Josh Gordon has any business in the NFL anymore. He can't handle the NFL. It's pretty obvious to me. But it is what it is. It's not my place to tell you who to sign and who not to sign. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what we got here on the chat board as we get close here to wrapping it up. Let's see. Let's see. Let the man promote his dealership and then go back to ripping people off. How's everything, Big O? Big win for the Heat last night. There is never enough football talk. Okay, NBA refs should be investigated for point shaving. You guys are a trip. Hey, Myron, I think the NBA refs are alter games on purpose. There we go. What else do we have here? I think they're just incompetent. Ask Herbie if they have lifetime warranty. I'm in the market for a brand new Toyota. I don't think they have a lifetime warranty, my brother, but they do have extended warranties. Yes, they do have that because I bought it for my car. So you can get that, get your extended warranty. That's what I would get if I'm you, because you don't pay for the oil changes, all of that, and they take care of everything from bumper to bumper. And it's a great way of taking care of your car and maintaining it. So that would be my suggestion: is get an extended warranty, not a lifetime warranty. Nobody's going to give you a lifetime, bro, because they're not going to cover your car when it's 15, 20 years old. You know what I mean? And most people don't even keep their cars that long. I mean, I kept my TSX for 10 years. And that's because I totaled it. If not, I would have kept it a little longer. Okay? And I'm sure I'll keep this one, for a long time. I take care of my cars. So I always change the oil and the filters and all that. And, if you maintain your car, it'll run, for a long time. It's pretty simple. It's not that difficult. Let's see. Oh, I actually got my Corolla from there, and they shipped it to Portland 4 years ago. Nice job. Awesome. He's a Lakers fan. That's right, Myron. So when you need a Toyota, come see your Lakers friend. Raging Dolphin Maniac, those new Supers are really cool. The first Toyota I've ever wanted. Well, come on by and get one. There's a red and black one right in front of me. Super, super nasty. Gus, fielding inquiries and making trades are different things, especially since we don't have a starter locked in yet. Yeah, I'm telling you, they only trade him if it's a crazy deal. And if they let him go for less, then that means they didn't have a really high opinion and they were dying to get rid of him. Do they have any used DeLoreans at Toyota of Hollywood? Yes, and it's got a flux capacitor also. I've been saying Rosen is trade bait all along. Well, of course he's trade bait, but it depends on when you trade him. I like the Tundra 4x4. Well, come on, NorCal, come get it. Can you post a pic of your Camry on Twitter? I will. All right? I'll do that. Let me take a break. We are wrapping it up here on the program as we are headed off to Hialeah Park. So it is a break for a couple of hours. It's just it's an
break for you.
It's an extended commercial break for a couple of hours. We are headed over to Hialeah Park. We're going to be out there from 2 to 5. We'll be at the Flamingo Lounge. So if you want to come on out to Hialeah Park, come on out and join us. We'd appreciate it. And we have several guests. Omar Kelly at 2:30, Anthony Chang at 3, Kurt Heelan at 4, Steve Calabro at 4:30. All right? We'll see you guys in a couple of hours. We'll be back on here. We'll take a break. See you later. Y'all be good out there. Be safe. Wear your mask.